Hello everyone, so this is definitely going to be a shorter video, but I still wanted to talk about this case. I think I heard about it for the first time from the YouTube channel Derek Lavasser. He is a former detective and he does a lot of true crime videos. He also has a podcast with Stephanie Harlow, and I listened to his video and I wanted to talk about it because it is very sad. We really don't have much information. Um, but it's about a mother and a child, and they have a very unfortunate end. All the links I use for research will be down below, like always, and let's go ahead and get into this. So, unfortunately, I really couldn't find any details on 22-year-old Asia and her 2-year-old son Ashton, like what they were like or what they enjoyed, and we also don't have much information on the case itself, so I apologize, but I will tell you everything that I know. We have some basic idea of what they did the day they died and a small timeline, but we don't really have any real answers to anything. So let's just go ahead and get into what happened. What we know is that on February 23rd, 2015, police responded to a call about a burned vehicle tucked away in a wooded area off Thurston Avenue in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I was able to find one photo of that, and I will have that on the screen. So, Greensboro police responded to this call and they found two scorched bodies inside the trunk of the car. And the car is a 2005 Buick LaCrosse. The bodies would later be determined to be Asia and Ashton on May 19th. Detective Mike Matthews with Greensboro Police Department said that earlier that month, May 2015, that it's possible that this crime was random. And this is actually a quote from Mike. He says, "We haven't ruled out that this could be a possible random act of violence, which makes this investigation harder and not as much information comes in because the victim does not know who the offender is." End quote. Police also said that their bodies were so badly burned that they couldn't determine the cause of death. It's also unclear if that they were alive or not when the car was set on fire. The doctor who performed the autopsy was unable to find any injuries that were not from the fire, but the condition of the burns limited the examination. Police said Asia was last seen alive 3 days earlier on February 20th at around 3:20 p.m. at the AutoZone on Randleman Road, and Ashton was not with her. I have another quote from Mike, and he says, "The big thing we're missing is if somebody had seen Asia or Ashton around that time frame that Friday, February 20th. That is somebody we need to talk to. If she had had time to drop that child off before going in the store, we need to talk to the person she dropped the child off with, or anybody who saw her drop the child off. That would be very important in this investigation." End quote. So they're missing a really big piece is who had Ashton that day, because that's who they need to speak to. Police learned that earlier that day, before she went to AudioZone, AudioZone, she was at AutoZone. She was at the High Point DMV office that same day around 1:30 p.m., registering the Buick LaCrosse in her name. On Saturday, February 21st, 2015, Asia did not show up to her job as a Greensboro security guard. On Sunday, February 22nd, she did not show up for work again, and she and Ashton are reported missing. And then on Monday, February 23rd, that is the day that they're found dead in the trunk of her car. Search warrants show that Greensboro Police Department gained access to some of her accounts, her Facebook page, Yahoo email, her iCloud, and bank account. And Mike says that it's given them some leads, but they haven't gotten much help from the community, and no tips were called in to Crime Stoppers after their initial press conference. GPD has spoken with Asia's friends, acquaintances, and past relationships, as well as Ashton's father. And to end this video off, we do have another quote from Mike, and he says, "We have not run out of leads in this case. There's still a lot of avenues that we're pursuing with this case, so it's nowhere close to being a cold case at this time." End quote. That being said, it is still unsolved. That is all the information we have regarding this case. Like I said, it was not a whole lot. And there's really been, at least not that I was able to find, much movement since 2015. That being said, they could be working on stuff behind the scenes. They might have information that they have not yet released. But from what it seems like is that there's been no movement um, in almost 10 years. But I do have phone numbers for you, so there is a number for Crime Stoppers if you'd like to leave a tip. You can remain anonymous, and that number is 336-373-1000. Again, the Crime Stoppers number is 336-373-1000. You can also call Detective Matthews at 574-4030. Again, Detective Matthews' phone number is 574-4030. And that's all the information I have on Asia and Ashton Brown. I don't even have a thought of who I think could have done this because we just have no information. But I do think that it's disgusting. I think that it's heartbreaking to know that somebody did this to a mother and her 2-year-old child. I I don't know who could want these two people dead so badly or hate these people so badly that they made them suffer like that. And we don't even know if they were alive or not when the car was set on fire because of how badly they were burned. So I all I can say is I really hope that they were already, passed away before the car was set on fire because that is just a horrific, terrifying death. And I couldn't even imagine how scared they would be. Um, but I hope that some tips start coming in, or maybe the police reveal that they've come up with an idea of who it could have been in the last 10 years, because for having no answers for almost 10 years, it's sad. Like, this is two people that deserve to have closure a long time ago, and I can only hope that they've have something behind the scenes. But if anything comes to light or there's an update of any sorts, I will definitely tell you guys. That being said, thank you so much for listening to Asia and Ashton's story. They are in my thoughts, their family is in my thoughts, and I encourage you to do your own research on this case. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.